The alcohol industry is crashing as it loses $830 billion as younger generations have decided to stop drinking. It says that over the past 4 years, they have lost this much money because millennials and Gen Z have decided to reduce drinking altogether due to health concerns, wellness trends, weight loss drugs, cannabis, and non alcoholic options. I actually like this idea that the younger generation have decided to reduce drinking. We finally realizing the effects of drinking and how bad it is. I don't know if y'all realize this, alcohol is the biggest drug killer in America, I believe it is. Yeah, people don't be thinking alcohol is a drug, but alcohol is most definitely a drug. And the industry losing all this money, $830 billion, they're losing close to $1 trillion because people are starting to realize that drinking ain't worth it. Crazy to me how people be actually thinking that alcohol is like the end all be all. They be thinking like in order for you to have fun, you gotta drink alcohol. But it's like there's other ways to have fun. See, this is why I don't drink or smoke or do any of that, man, because that stuff can really fuck up your health. And I'm glad that my generation is finally waking up to this.
It can mess up your health and it can mess up your life. Or you could end up getting life. Drunk driving, take somebody's life. It was this dude I grew up with in the neighborhood. He was a little younger than me, but he used to get on my bus when I went to high school. He ended up unaliving an old lady drinking and driving. I don't know how much time he got, but it was an older YT lady. I'm just be real with y'all. Shout out to my YT people, but you can't do that now. You're going to get way more time, my guy, than if it was a black person, to be real. But RP her. And
Gen Z has drank less than any generation in history. They damn near not drinking at all, to the point where Vegas tourism is down dramatically. Clubs is down.
Is that why Vegas tourism's down for real? Interesting.
Down dramatically. Gen Z drinks 87% less alcohol than prior generations. The alcohol industry has lost over $830 billion. So if you want to go by, what's up, fool? If you want to go by generations, the boomers, they were capping at about 25 billion on alcohol sales. Gen X, 23.1 billion on alcohol sales. And then the millennials, us, we spiked it up a little bit, 23.4 billion. Gen Z's only at 3.1 billion.
A big thing too is efficiency. Gen Z want to bang for their buck. And you know, and to return on their investment. So why would I go spend $200 tonight, right? Wake up with a crazy hangover, you know, fucking throwing up and shit, when I can just go down to the weed shop, spend $40, get high, have munchies, giggle, laugh, and then wake up tomorrow and be completely fine. So a lot of Gen Z has traded it for that. Or if you want to go extreme, you got niggas doing Xans and pills. And
Exactly.
Gen Z is they more on their health tip. That's why these gyms, you go to these gyms, you see the little mushroom top in there with pajama pants and Crocs. Them niggas is in there getting it in. The little niggas is in there, what they call is look maxing now. They really caring about how they look. We can get into that look maxing shit too, because that shit gay. But they really are caring about their physical fitness more than generations that have passed, for real.
so on one hand, Buddy right there in the black saying the younger generation cares more about their health. The other dude talking about they smoking and doing shrooms. I think I agree with Buddy in the black more. They more so care about return on investment, making financial decisions that are more responsible. For the most part, we're not talking about the YNs that's crashing out. We're talking about the ones that have learned from the past generations of making mistakes in life. They really locked in. They locked in on health, wellness, and financially locked in. I think that's what's happening because the numbers are down drastically. We can't just say it's because they don't got no money. Some of them got a lot of money.
Apparently, Gen Z is not drunk. And when I say not drunk, I mean we're not drinking enough alcohol. To be honest, we all know the reason why. Look at the state of the world right now. Shit is too expensive. Not only that, but as soon as we hit a pandemic, we basically felt like life was a little bit ruined. It took us a little back. It took a couple steps back. But all in all, I'm Gen Z. I don't drink as much as I used to. I used to be a straight alcoholic. I stopped because I realized there's more to life. Like, who the fuck wants to be the miserable drunk just sitting there drinking their life away? When I could go travel and go see cultures and shit, bro. I think we found the value of life. What do y'all think? Because I really don't think about drinking as much as I used to. I barely think about clubbing. If anything, I think we're stressing about buying a house. Like, that weekly drinking shit is over. When we gotta save to buy a house, you know?
This is what you want to see. Our world advancing. Gen Z, out of all other generations, it seemed like collectively they starting to get it together. That's a good thing. That's a great thing, actually. She's saying it's for the money. I keep disagreeing with that because people gonna find money for what they want to buy. Like that smoothie probably costs more than a bottle of wine or liquor. She probably buy them daily. You know what I mean? She said they realizing the importance of life. They could take trips. They could save that money.
Alcohol consumption is down to 54% of the society, which is a big deal.
Huge deal.
Everything is down. Beer is down. Wine is down. Seltzers are down. Spirits are down. Let me tell you what I think is happening. The coffee shops of the world are the training grounds for bars. You're 18, 19, 20 years old. You're in college. You go to your local Starbucks. You sit at a small table. You sip beverages together. You talk to people. It's a prerequisite for the socialization of a bar.
Yeah.
Look at the student unions in colleges. All of these things create that social connection. The pandemic killed that.
Agree.
Now I'm sitting home making drinks myself. We're drinking together on Zoom, right in our separate houses.
Yeah.
I'm now doing DoorDash. I'm now eating my edibles. I'm now smoking my joints. So this generation is much more comfortable at home than some of them are in bars. Social interaction is so important to us as a species.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, these people are home sitting on a couch, eating their edibles, smoking their joint, on their computer screen, rather than in the bar interacting with people, having fun. That does. It sucks.
That's true too. I just did a video on how Gen Z is the most antisocial generation. They would rather be at home. That makes sense, Mr. John. That makes absolute sense. They're making some good points on here.
The country's headed in the wrong direction. The alcohol industry has lost $830 billion in 4 years because Gen Z is not drinking. That's very obviously a joke, but as a fitness and wellness oriented Gen Zer, let me tell you guys why we're not drinking. This may sound arrogant, but legitimately all of us with critical thinking skills know that alcohol is a net loss. You are spending money for the ability to socialize with people just to wake up feeling like shit the next morning. Yes, it really is all about balance. I enjoy my occasional raspberry Smirnoff as much as any college-aged white boy does. For the vast majority of us, we won't even be able to own our own home in our lifetimes. Why the hell would we blow a bunch of money on alcohol? Most of us would rather just not socialize in the first place. My take is, if you need alcohol to socialize with people, you're a pussy. But yeah, what do you guys think? Thanks for watching.
You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. They would rather not socialize at all. So they really don't want to get drunk because it's going to have them be social. They don't want to be social. Gen Z don't like talking. They're the mute generation. All right, man, before we get out of here, let's listen to an old head talk. Let's see what he thinks the reasoning behind this is. I can tell he used to throw them back in the day. He probably used to drink an 80 ounce. That's 240s.
I just saw a video here on TikTok that said that the younger generation, they not drinking like that no more. And that's dope. Because as a person who was a very avid drinker all through my 20s and early 30s and just...
Didn't I tell you? I told you. I know an alcoholic when I see one, or a recovering addict.
Just kind of chilled out in 2020 when I went 2.5 years without drinking. Not drinking is, and now I drink very little. Not drinking or very little is the best thing, or one of the best things I've ever done for myself. Alcohol is trash compared to all the other stuff. They got this new thing, gardening, which is just, 420. But I'm really proud. The younger generation, y'all figuring it out. Hopefully it's because of the internet and then things like TikTok where we can all share like what we really, the true experiences, and the government ain't like creating the narratives and selling us things that are bad for us, and we all get together. Like, y'all, we need you. Stay strong, y'all. I need y'all to stay strong and keep us right, because I'm on y'all side. I know a lot of old heads. Unc is on y'all side.
There we go. Unc said it best. You can learn from the younger people, man. A lot of the older people be stuck in their ways, thinking they got all the knowledge. Y'all got wisdom, but y'all don't got all the wisdom. You can always learn from the younger generation. They are acquiring information at the speed of light. You better sit down and listen. Learn you a thing or two.